Alright, Shalom, giving all praise unto Yabashim, Shabashim, Kodash, double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone, and the honest brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth. And above everybody here coming out here to give you this truth for the grace and mercy of Yahweh, Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Kodash. Okay, so this is going to be a in-transit style video, and Yabashim, Shabashim, Kodash, is going to be of edification. But the purposes of this video is to touch on a topic concerning the approach that we employed in this truth, and it's not to suggest by any stretch of the imagination that any one person is better than the other, or I'm better than this person, or you're better than that person. Because really, when you understand what the scripture says our righteousness is as filthy rags. So this is applicable to myself as well as it is to anybody that may feel like it's relevant. All right, but we see this particular scripture here, and I am dragging, so I'm not gonna read it. You can read it for yourself. Ephesians 4:22, and I'll focus on just driving, but you can read the scripture for yourself. And we see the scripture says that we ought to put away the old man. Okay, this weekend I've been thinking about particular things, particular behaviors that you had when you first came into this truth, and you through refinement and through adversity, which that's part of the reason why we go through adversity, brothers. Right? You be going through adversities and you're not really understanding why the Most High is putting you through that particular adversity. Is because you gotta get refined, right? We gotta get refined. Not you, but we gotta get refined. Okay, we must needs be perfect, whether it be behaviors, approach. Okay, which I suppose that's a behavioral trait. Right, the Most High's got an image of how He's molding us to be like, right? And you might come into this thing thinking you're the bee's knees, like they say, but the reality of the situation is that we're nobodies, man. Okay, we're nobodies, man. Right? The Most High, through the scriptures, have said how that the Most High can raise up stones to be Israelites, man. The Most High can raise up any person to be a prophet. Okay, right? The Most High could have any Israelite, not anybody, but the Most High could raise up any Israelite to be a prophet, man. Right? You came into this truth and you got these worldly ideas, which is the old man of how things are supposed to be and how things are supposed to work. Like you're supposed to be the man. Everybody's just supposed to bow down before you. And I'm speaking about myself. I'm speaking about whoever it may be applicable to. I'm just riffing in the spirit, right? So I hope nobody's offended by me speaking, just riffing in the spirit, based upon what you see out there within the world. When Jake comes together, there's always got to be some tension, because Jake thinks that if anybody's going to be the best, it's got to be them. Okay, Jake doesn't know how to be they had a basketball player, right, by the name of Manu Ginobili, right? And this guy could have been good enough to be a starter in any other team. He could have been the main option, right? But what made the Spurs, to use that basketball example, what made them a top tier team? One of the things that made them a top tier team was the fact that Manu Ginobili, which was like a top level talent, was humble enough to come off of the bench. So when that second unit came off of the bench, he was ready to go. So how can we liken that unto the truth? We can liken that unto a guy that maybe necessarily, he's not speaking all the time. Okay, maybe he's not the guy that's always got the breakdowns. But when it's time for him to bring out the breakdowns, let's say a brother's like, look, I'm done speaking for today. You want to say something, brother? Yeah, I've been speaking about this. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, and that's how we ought to be. We ought to be always ready to push this truth. We ought to be always ready to push this truth, but we also have to push forth the old man, all right? We have to push forth the old man. And again, this is another thing that I was thinking about. Why does Jake, okay, why do we, the Israelites, recognize particular demons that we have? Oh yes, so lucky, brother, yeah, I'm still working on that. And years down the line, you're still so-called working on the same thing, because these demons give pleasure. Okay, these demons that you be having, they give pleasure, so you hold on to them. Okay, let's say you got a demon, right, for food, which that's really like a demon that we all have, really, when you think about it, because we're eating poison and that poison be addictive. So that's really like a demon that we all have. You know, brothers be seeing your eating habits and saying, yo, bro, when we I remember I used to have a cookie demon. I used to love eating cookies all the time, man. Brothers used to curse me out. Years and years they was cursing me out. Now, you know, I could kind of say my diet's a little bit better. It's not perfect, but it's a little bit better, right? But obviously, why did I hold on to that particular demon? Because that particular demon gave pleasure. In the present, it gave pleasure. But after a certain dispensation of time, now you're getting inflammation within your body, okay? And you're wondering where the inflammation is coming from. Now you're losing concentration, okay? Another demon that Jake's had, and this has scriptural backing for it, right? Jake's always had the demon of complacency, right? Always had that demon. There's a word for it. There's a word for it. It's gonna come to mind. Procrastinating. Jake's got that procrastinating demon. But hey, when you're procrastinating, you don't have to do anything. You see that? And that's where the pleasure comes from. See, all of these demons, they got pleasures that's associated with them. Let's say you got a little bit of a pride demon or ego demon, right? A worldly pride demon, right? You was a particular person within the world, and, you know, you come into this truth and you want to hold on to that. That's the old man, and the scripture says that we ought to put that away. So we're beyond the times of recognizing a demon and then you just leave it because it makes you feel a certain type of way. It gives you a certain amount of pleasure, right? We're beyond that, man. This is a family, really, man. This is the first family, okay? The scripture talks about how we're the first fruits. We're the first family, man. Okay, we're the first family, man. We can't be treating each other a certain type of way because you getting away with it for years. You know, again, I ain't alluding to any particular thing, but I'm just saying, speaking as a man. You know, you do particular things, okay? You do particular things, you say particular things. You're like, man, there's a better way of doing this, man. We're a family, okay? We're a family, okay? We're the first family. We're the most important family. The scripture talks about how we're the Israel of the Heavenly Father, right? Who else is gonna look after us? Right? If I don't look after the brother that's on my right hand side and on my left hand side, who else is gonna look after them? Yeah, but Jake be forgetting these particular things. Right? Jake wants to be the man all the time. And again, like I said, I'm speaking for myself first. You want to be the man all the time. Okay? You want to be the guy that's got the breakdown all the time. Right? You want to be the guy that's in the spotlight all the time. And that's a worldly thing. We ain't supposed to be like that, man. We're supposed to be putting away the former man and coming into the marvelous light of Yahweh Shema Shai Shim Kwa HaKodash to the end that it could truly be said that these are the men of the Lord because we've seen the love that they have for one another, man. Okay? That's how people are supposed to look at us. They're supposed to look at us and say, okay, yeah, I can see that, man. They gotta be the men of the Lord because of the way they treat each other, because and I suppose this is another way, because here it is. You could treat somebody well, but you could treat yourself terribly. Okay, that's gonna have negative consequences. If you treat yourself terribly, whether it be your diet, right? I'm not saying to love yourself in an emotional sense, but to look after yourself. Right? There's particular things that you could do to make it to where you love yourself, not in an emotional sense, but you're looking after yourself. Taking care of your body, your diet, right? Making sure you ain't putting information that you put in your brain. You ain't spending all your time flicking through Instagram. You know, there's particular things that you could do that it could be said that person loves themselves, but not in a way that's worldly. Okay? So you got to take care of yourself because guess what? You've been given a vessel to push this truth. And also, you take care of the people around you. But again, like I said, why do people out there within the world, right? Why do they hold on to particular behaviors of how they treat people and how they treat each other, right? Because those particular, like a person that's got that arrogancy demon, and he treats people that they're less than him. It's because that particular demon gives comforts. It makes you feel good, right? It makes you feel good, but we can't just feel like how we want to feel, man. We got to feel how the Most High wants us to feel. Which really, to hell with your emotions. It's time to do the job. And the best way to do the job is to treat everybody, right? Not after the old fashion, but after the new man, right? And that's where I'm going to leave this particular video. And Yahweh Bashim Ashai Bashim Kwa HaKodash brought it was of edification. With that, I'm going to say, praise unto Yahweh Bashim Ashai Bashim Kwa HaKodash, double honors unto the apostles, a great millstone, and I honestly brothers that be pushing this truth in sincerity. Shalom.